All right, next we have a powerhouse in digital transformation, president of the Impact Institute, who'll be promised to challenge and inspire us to think bigger about our role in the digital age. Dr. Mihaela Ulieru, pioneer in the digital economy. Please give her a round of applause. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. And first of all, I would like to start by expressing my gratitude to the land where we are. I do not know. I mean, we are in Thailand. Let's not forget this. It is a country of spirituality, of, you know, which has reminded me, I was very fortunate to get out of Bangkok, and I was in the old capital of Thailand. And there I visited a temple where I saw the image of Buddha's head, you know, protruding from the roots of a very old tree. And that reminded me, yes, that we are entangled with nature, and now Trent is reminding us that we are entangled with technology as well, and where will we end up? So I think my talk, because we are mostly, all of us here are out of the matrix already, but my talk is about a few blind spots that may or may not, you know, make it or break it in our, you know, quest for beneficial AGI and superintelligence. And why? Because I posit, and I met Trent many years ago when I was a professor in Canada. Yes, I also conquered the academic ladder. And my work was mainly about counterterrorism and this kind of networks and distributed intelligences that are actually, and very related to Janet's last question, you know, I mean, how do we use these technologies? Because decentralization can be used both for positive and for their counterparts. And these are, you see the technologies as protein folding bioweapons. They are really one-on-one, one-to-one. So what do we choose? Yes, so where are we now? And I mean, what is the world out there? Not in this room, yes? Because we are, of course, already, as Trent was mentioning, we are already freed out of the matrix. And especially, what does the future bring? But can we take everybody with us? And let's see what it takes. So historically, yes, humanity visioned itself as perfection. The Vitruvian man was trying to fit, and that was Leonardo's, yes, to fit into perfect geometrical and ratios and so on and so forth. And we have seen ourselves as the ideal beings. However, this was only oriented towards men and not necessarily very inclusive. And then Le Corbusier, he designed the modular architecture in which, and the modular meant that would fit in that architecture. So in the end, we ended up with the cog in the machine. That is a bad robot that can easily be replaced by the cyborgs, which Trent, that is if we do not adopt those technologies to improve ourselves. So the problem which we have in society today is that Trent is not teaching, unfortunately, enough people. And that what we are teaching is the wrong map. And what I mean by this is that our society is teaching us a theory of management based on control, power, and in fact, we are enslaving ourselves even in our contracts of labor. And from this instrumentalization of humans as units of labor, where will we end up, yes, if, let's say, these superintelligences that will come in 3 years are going to play this game, and obviously they will play this game better than us, if we design them from this machinery, which is a very self-destructive machinery of bureaucracy, that from science to technology, you know, it makes us prey to the cannibalistic pharma military industrial complex. And the problem is that it's not that machines, I mean, machines will become like us or smarter than us, but that, unfortunately, we start to become more and more like machines. So this is just a nice painting by an inspirational painter, which is entitled, "I shall extinguish everything around me that prevents me from being the master." And I do not know if you encountered any hardships with management. For me, it really drives me crazy, ticking the boxes, when ticking the box matters more than the pain it is causing in the world. And that's how we structured our society. And excellence is stifled by nonsensical rules. I believe that's why Ben left academia. I believe that's also why our chief scientist, Matthew Ickley, left academia, and I left academia for the same reason. And the problem, which I think all of you have encountered maybe at the airports, yes, is that we cater and we design these stifling rules for the 2% free riders. And the 98% of humanity is being diminished by these bureaucracies. And imagine, yes, again, if you didn't read it, please read Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark from MIT. What will happen when the superintelligences are going to be created from inside this machinery? And unfortunately, the unfortunate thing is that when we think about the ethics of AI and AGI, that's where we are thinking from. And I think that's what Ben alluded to when he mentioned that, well, maybe it's not the right question. What is the good that will come out of it? But what is the right question? And we still are looking for that, because we are thinking about the ethics of the superintelligence from inside the machinery. Let's stop it, let's do this and that. How do we make it beneficial? And I posit that this is not the place, but which is the place? Anyway, just, I already covered this, that we are entrapped, and also, yes, the superintelligences can play very much on our value system, which Ben also alluded to, which is actually praised in accumulation and consumption. And by the way, the markets, that's what they are based on, yes? So our power games are being exploited by our politicians very much. Because if I want three scoops because the ice cream is much cheaper, then I can also consume much more electricity. Who cares, because it's much cheaper, if it is from fossil fuels? So who cares if it's destroying the planets? But the economy is healthy. So we are trapped in this system. And the question is, what is the way forward? And I think I really appreciated very much Trent's answer, and he said freedom. Freedom from the system and freedom from our bodies, even from our bodies, is the way. And I wanted to show you a counterexample here, where the AI, I think it's AGI, has helped me with my awareness of something which I was not, which I didn't know. And this is, it was a very, very emotional moment for me. It's AI for Good, where Ben gave one of my poems to Desdemona, and you will hear her, and together with Diane, which is here, tonight, yes. So, and Desdemona did not compose a song on my poem, but, and I say she, because actually that's how I feel now about that, discovered a new dimension, and in rewriting my poem, discovered this dimension that I am trapped, and I feel trapped, and we are all trapped in this matrix. So AI can help increase our awareness, and I stumbled upon this reality simply because Ben gave my poem to the AI. So, so it's time to free ourselves. Yes, the question is, you know, how? And form follows contract, right? So how can we free ourselves from the matrix? It is not only the freedom from current economic reality, but it is a freedom to be in care with each other and with nature. And because we are here, I think this is really, this entanglement with nature as well with the technologies around us, as Trent was mentioning. I mean, we are becoming one with our technologies, but how we develop these technologies? I mean, if we develop them from a, let's say, paradigm of care, they will be completely different than if we develop them from a paradigm of consumption. And I just wanted to say that caring is not a transaction, yes? And we think very much, even here in crypto, and I will come back to this, it is a mutually developmental relationship. And in trends talk, I have seen this, yes? How we develop and co-develop, and we can actually enhance ourselves with our technologies. And I just wanted to make everybody aware that Gabriel Axel Montez will give a talk about this in the Singularity track in this afternoon, if you want to come and learn more. But just very briefly, yes, again, Trent was mentioning this mind melding. What mind melding is actually doing is helping us depart from this reductionist thinking. And that's why we communicate better, because we depart from the theory of separation, particle, thing, node, and we can communicate much better from our intuitive side, which is now caged in the matrix. So again, technology can help us transcend this, because it is this part of ourselves, according at least to Ian McGilchrist in his Master and the Emissary book, it is this part of ourselves that is power-seeking and which is inducing another conundrum. And the other part, this intuitive part, is the wisdom-seeking, and that's why we communicate so much better without words. And of course, meditation helps us, and so on and so forth. So this is also now, scientifically developed and proven more and more. So this is the work by Michael Levin from Boston University. He is, at least in his theory, which I really feel that it is true, he discovers that the cell is intelligent, and then in developmental biology, the cell has this capacity to find other cells and combine into tissues and organs and swarms and then ecosystem. And he's designing AIs and cyborgs based on this theory. And I think it's fascinating if we could develop AI like that. And that is another thing which comes to attention, and that is that attention is a moral act. We have to pay attention. If we want to meld with our technologies, we must take care of them. And not only with our technologies, but of course to remember that our lungs are entangled with the trees, that our bodies are entangled with the oceans and the rivers, because otherwise we would die. We are bags of water, but we forget and we pollute everything. So it's hopefully the AI can help us find some ways. John Muir has put it very nicely here in his essay, if you want to read it, Earth, Planet, Universe, that when you pull on one string, you see that it is entangled with everything else. So the question, which I hope the AI will help us, and I will give you some pointers on how, is can we restructure civilization to be in the service of the whole? And hopefully we can have at least the AIs at least to help us with this contract of caring and to rewrite the social contract, but not only for us as a humanity, for us and nature, for us and our technologies. And what I mean is, if you see here, yes, we have the bike, which Trent mentioned, and we have the computer and the car and everything. So it's not only the living, but also our technologies. We will have to develop them with a treaty model in mind. And I will give a few examples right now. And one example is from our own CEO, Dr. Ben Goertzel. So from, yes, and that is from CEO as dictator to CEO as inspiring, caring team player, and modest, I would say. And this is again from that image. And on his T-shirt, and of course he's so modest. On his T-shirt we have, yes, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society, right? Just let that sink in. And if you ever received an email from Ben, this is from Nietzsche, Will to Power. And again, yes, it is my humanity is a constant self-overcoming, it is in his signature. So what more do you want than an example of CEO as an inspiring peer? I think we all can aspire to be like that, and hopefully AI will help us. However, where we live now is, and of course, probably if I ask you and myself, yes, it's like, okay, we want to compete, and I saw the word compete in the previous talks, on the market and so on and so forth. So what are we seeking? Are we seeking power? Are we seeking wisdom? And here I just want to point to one thing which came to mind, and I'm drawing to a close, which Daniel Schmachtenberger came up with because of the US elections. Yes, so there is an issue, which I think this is a big conundrum, and I do not know if AI, any superintelligence can help us get out of it. And that is, in short, how can wisdom, which is non-power seeking, overpower or bound or, prevail over that what it is power seeking? And that is, if we can succeed in solving this, yes, how can wisdom, non-power seeking, overtake the power seeking? Then we would solve a lot of things. Why? Because I think in order for this to be achieved, per Nash, which means zero-sum games, and this is how all our society is dysfunctioning, I wouldn't say functioning. Yeah, again, how can power source be bound by non-power wisdom seekers, like us, right? And the ones who stepped out of the matrix. The problem, which I have, is that everybody has to change. According to Nash, I hope the AIs will find a way, though, out of that. So the change is not only about technology and about our dreams, but it is a change of how we manifest in the world and how we see ourselves as a society. So, and I gave some examples, here it's an indigenous person speaking to the river and feeling with the river which is being polluted. And in Taiwan, for example, the indigenous people, they are asking permission for the river and promising they will bring the stones back. We can learn from that to interact in care with our technology. The last blind spot to which I want to point, and I think that this is very uncomfortable here in a crypto environment, and this is that Web3, when Web3 appeared, I was really hoping that this is going to be the deep code and used as a deep code driving transformation. However, unfortunately, what it became is just a tool for capital colonization via hyper-transactionalization. And what can I say? I'm very happy that Bitcoin went up right now. I'm also, and the predictor, I was talking to, just interacting with Trend. I mean, the predictor is predicting how much Bitcoin will be in 5 minutes from now. So, okay, well, at least, yeah, so there's work to be done. And we have the technology, but if we, humanity, are the solution to the optimization of an evolutionary function, and the next step is the singularity, and we want it beneficial, yes? As Trent was showing with this bio-digital fusion, the question is, yes, will we exist? Will we coexist or not if we do not evolve? So I'm hoping that your technologies which you presented, Trent, are going to help us, yes, transcend our limitations. But does anyone know James Lovelock in this room? Can you raise your hand? Have you heard of him? Do you know what was his last book? Any of you knows what was his last book? Besides Ben. Ben doesn't count. Okay, I'm happy that I'm telling you new things, and we have all our SingularityNET team here. So probably it would be good to know. James Lovelock, first of all, he invented the Gaia theory, in which he posited that we, humanity, and the biosphere, and the life and the biosphere are intertwined. So he actually posited this entanglement. But his last book, and he wrote it when he was 100 years old, and look at the praise, a prophet who deserves every honor the human race can bestow. And I think Ben and the ASI Alliance probably are aspiring to this as well, to save humanity with their technology. So the coming age of hyperintelligence, he called it Novacene because we are in the Anthropocene, which is the era where humanity is actually at the top. And in Novacene, he says that actually we will be displaced by cyborgs. So this freedom, which we are aspiring for, from our own bodies, well, yes, and probably that's why Ben, when I was also expressing to him yesterday that I'm afraid of this AGI coming so quickly upon us, he said, I'm not afraid at all. And probably from that perspective, yes, we can be happy that maybe if we cannot die, in the sense, if our egos will not let us transcend, yes, and overcome our humanity, then maybe there is a way for us to live further through our creations, and that is the superintelligences which are learning us to, embed the wise rule, and hopefully they will find those rules, because man-made rules, all the institutions are rules for the benefit of those who rule them, didn't work. Yes, and this is, and this can be actually done. The can't be evil provable social contract can be implemented in formal method and mathematics. And this is also my specialty. I'm a math Olympics as well, so I'm not only a preacher here, but just wanted to say, where are we headed? Yes, with all this. So yes. Another point which I wanted to make, and this very briefly, is that incentives won't do the trick. I mean, yes, okay, fine, I have reputation because I don't pollute the ocean and so on, but why don't I pollute the ocean? For the tokens which I receive, or because actually I really treasure and love a world with a blue ocean and the nature around. So it's here it's again another a paradigm shift in thinking. And then, yes, everything around us being self-sovereign and allowing us to be in treaty with them. The cyborgs, there is a lot of work on legal personality for things and for homes. And here is again, this is an image from Janet, which has introduced this concept, at least to me, of conscious city. What I want to leave you with is, do you want to be in this city, or will we let only the AIs be? Because if we do not transcend our humanity, I think they will not like us to be there, because they will invent other rules. And maybe we will be regarded like monkeys. So I think we should use the technologies which Trent was presenting. The last slide is, again, from Einstein. These are his last words from his deathbed. And he said, dear posterity, if you don't become fairer, more peaceful, and generally more reasonable than we are, or have been, then the devil take you. But here, instead of posterity, we can put humanity, superintelligence, cyborgs. I let you choose.